through strength is something that we've been hearing over and over again from White House officials as we head into the speech. And the question will be, does he take any sort of swipe at the Supreme Court?
I don't think so. I'm not certain, but I don't think so.
Gutierrez, thank you. And that does it for this NBC News Now special. We'll pause here for a special report. Thanks for watching. More coverage now.
From NBC News, President Trump delivers the State of the Union. Live from Washington, D.C., here is Tom Yanis.
And good evening. Welcome to our special coverage of President Trump's State of the Union address, the first of his second term. Here is a live look at the House chamber right now where the president is set to speak. Just moments from now, members of the president's cabinet, including Secretary of State Marco Rubio, Treasury Secretary of Dissent, coming in as well. Support for the president's policies on immigration enforcement, issues that swept him into office, have dropped sharply in the weeks since federal agents shot and killed 2 Americans in Minnesota. That, along with polling numbers on the economy, on a downward spiral. Republicans hold only a razor-thin majority in the House, one that could vanish after the midterms. His final 2 years in office extremely could be difficult if that happens. We expect the president to lay out what he calls the major successes of his first year back in office, including the economy and tariffs, while also laying out his top priorities going forward.
I could jump ahead 5 minutes. That's weird.
Justice Amer, the justice right there, as we are.
Oh wait, there was a pedophile on screen for a second. Hold on.
In there, and also Justice Amy Coney Barrett. Kristen Walker, I'm going to talk to you. We mentioned the Supreme Court justices because the president had that
I saw Lutnick on screen for a minute.
Monumental loss on his tariffs, and he went after the justices that he appointed that voted against the conservative justices, including Justice Barrett. It'll be interesting to see if he addresses them tonight.
It will be fascinating, Tom, to see if he directly addresses the Amy Coney Barrett, who, of course, he did nominate, if he takes sharp aim at them for striking down his tariff authority. He has made it very plain he disagrees with the decision. And zooming out, the broader question that it poses is about tone. Not just his tone about the Supreme Court justices, but what tone do we hear as it relates to the economy? It's our understanding he's going to strike an optimistic note. The president telling us during a lunch earlier today he's going to argue that the next 3 years will be the strongest 3 years economically for the United States in the nation's history. Do Americans feel it yet? Polls suggest they don't. And Tom, his challenge tonight is going to be to reset the table.
Tonight is a big night for the president. We know this, Kristen, right? Even though the president sort of sets his agenda every day, tries to dictate the news cycle, tens of millions. Here, Alexander, we were watching the Secretary of Homeland Security, Kristi Noem, walk in with the Chief of Staff, Susie Wiles, and I mentioned Homeland Security because there's been so much news, and those agents, including TSA, not getting paid right now because the government can't figure this out. First one of these States of the Union that is taking place while there is a partial shutdown that's taking place right now. It's struck by a couple things. Kristen said it's going to be interesting to see what the president says about the Supreme Court. We know what he thinks about members of the Supreme Court, including one of those individuals in the room, Justice Amy Coney Barrett. He said of her and Neil Gorsuch, who is not present tonight, they should be ashamed. Their families should be ashamed. He called it a disgrace. Tom, what strikes me as we look at this room is that it is very different, the State of the Union in the Trump years than it was in the past. The State of the Union was that one moment each year where the president had a national audience where he could galvanize American interest. It's different this go around. He is ubiquitous. He is omnipresent. We hear from him so often. So for me, as important as what he says tonight is whether he can stick with this message, not just today, but going forward. He sets a story as scripted for him with his script writers, his speech writers today. Can he stick with the message? And ultimately, at the end of the day, is he able to help Americans at home who are seeing prices for themselves, who are experiencing the frustrations they have with the cost of living right now? Is he able to give them some sense that things are getting better and to have patience? Does he demonstrate a bit of empathy that he acknowledges the challenges they still face? As we are watching more of the president's cabinet usher in, we understand that President Trump is just outside those doors. We're waiting for the Sergeant of Arms, William McFarland, to announce him. You know the moment. We will be silent for that moment. This will be a different type of State of the Union for our viewers and, more importantly, our voters at home. You're going to see something you maybe have never seen before on live television, which is parts of this chamber empty. More than 30 Democrats are protesting the State of the Union, lawmakers, both senators, members of the House, and they decided not to show up. So we are thinking at some point we're going to see empty seats once everyone sits down. Ryan Nobles is live for us right now inside the chamber. Ryan, what do we expect to see with all those Democrats out protesting outside Capitol Hill?
Well, Tom, I can tell you this is the 4th State of the Union that I've covered inside the chamber, and the number of empty seats on the Democratic side of the chamber is noticeable. Now, you're right. We'll have to wait and see until the president gets in this room and actually takes to the lectern whether or not those areas will begin to fill out. But we are now talking more than 30, perhaps as many as 40 members of the House and Senate on the Democratic side choosing not to attend this speech here tonight. Many of them participating in what they're calling the People's State of the Union down on the National Mall. This is a different form of protest for Democrats, and one that is definitely
right. The United States.
Yay! He's here! Oh my god, I love him so much! Yay! Everybody who whistles in public should be hanged! Yay!
To a roaring round of applause from Republicans there, Democrats choosing some of them to stay silent right now. Just behind him, the House Majority Leader Steve Scalise, the Senate Majority Leader John Thune, as well as the House Majority Whip, as well Tom Emmer. The president here shaking hands, and as we know, Hallie Jackson, a lot of those lawmakers have waited a long time to get in that. It's first come, first served. It's sort of like those concerts we grew up going to. You have to wait in line, but people want to get there. We see one now with a Make America Great Again hat.
On a Lego, step on it.
To get his eye, to get his ear, right?
Do you want a microphone on every lapel? Because I do. I want to hear everything you're talking about here. Because for some of these folks, it's an opportunity to get a message directly to the president, as you see here, or to the vice president who preceded him here. And listen, you have talked about it here. We know what the big focus of this speech is going to be, and what Republicans want the focus of the speech to be. I can tell you after the last couple of days talking with voters, Trump voters, people who supported the president, almost every single one of them said, I need to hear him talk about my money. Basically, my wallet, my budget, my pocketbook. I don't want to hear about Greenland or the Arch, and I'm paraphrasing here. I don't want to hear about foreign entanglements. I want to know how he's helping specifically the middle class. And these are people who had backed him. I asked for a grade. A lot of them said, you know, B, C, basically. They're willing to give him some time so they can feel better about how they are doing with their money. But at this point, they are not asked a few of them, hey, the president says repeatedly, inflation is defeated, that this is a rip-roaring economy. Do you feel that? And some of these voters said, I just don't right now.
Yeah, in the era, I should say, social media, the selfies have begun here, even in the House chamber. Lawmakers not above that, the same thing we do sometimes. Christine Romans, Hallie brought up a lot of good points. We were talking about this just before we came on. People go to the grocery store. Yes, some prices have come down, but others like beef and coffee, gas has come down, but beef and coffee is higher. Natural gas to heat your home, it's been a brutal winter for so many. It's still expensive to live in America.
It really is. You look at car loans are getting longer and longer.
We just saw a moment right there, the president shaking Amy Coney Barrett's hands. It was unclear how he was going to react to her saying that her family should be ashamed when she voted with the majority of the Supreme Court in striking down the tariff deal. We'll see if he mentions or if he says anything else, but the president there, and he alluded to this when we were speaking to him, he wasn't going to focus too much on the Supreme Court when we had lunch with him earlier today. But we'll wait and see. You never know. The president sees somebody, someone catches his eye, and he starts talking. Christine, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, the White House and the team, the president's supporters of the president's team think that they've got a very good story to tell about the economy overall. They like to talk about a record high in the stock market. But you look at the length of car loans, and you look at how hard it is to buy a house, and you look at childcare costs, and you look at insurance costs and electricity. These are things that are not like eggs that you can just give up, right? These are things that are really core parts of the budget that have been too troubling. So maybe you'll see the president tonight shift and look forward and say, stick with me. Things are going to get better in the future, and here's how we're going to make that happen.
We'll peel back the curtain a little bit. Kristen and I were able to have lunch with the president, with some other network news anchors, say, at the White House. A delicious lunch, I should say. The president himself seemed to be in very good spirits, Chris. I think that's fair to say. He was excited about this speech. He seemed in a good mood, even though he was in a room full of the media. Sometimes, he goes to war with us a few times, every week. Peter Alexander knows that better than some. But he seemed to be in good spirits.
He did. He seemed energized by this moment. This is the president in his element in front of a crowd. Now, he likes the campaign trail. One of the key questions I think top Republicans are wondering, will he actually stick to the script tonight?
We're going to hear the Speaker of the House introduce him now. Let's listen in.
All right. Lower the speed a little bit. Let's see what there is to say.
Members of Congress, I have the high privilege and distinct honor of presenting to you the President of the United States.
Is it really an honor, though? USA! USA!
Well, thank you very much, everybody. It's really an honor. Speaker Johnson, Vice President Vance, First Lady of the United States. Second Lady of the United States. Members of Congress and my fellow Americans, our nation is back, bigger, better, richer, and stronger than ever before.
Is that why people can't afford shit?
Less than 5 months from now, our country will celebrate an epic milestone in American history, the 250th anniversary of our glorious American independence. This July 4th, we will mark 2.5 centuries of liberty and triumph, progress and freedom in the most incredible and exceptional nation ever to exist on the face of the earth. And you've seen nothing yet. We're going to do better and better and better. This is the golden age of America.
Okay, so far he's obviously reading from the script. I wonder how long he'll keep that up.
When I last spoke in this chamber 12 months ago, I had just inherited a nation in crisis with a stagnant economy, inflation at record levels, a wide-open border, horrendous recruitment for military and police, rampant crime at home, and wars and chaos all over the world. But tonight, after just 1 year, I can say with dignity and pride that we have achieved a transformation like no one has ever seen before, and a turnaround for the ages. It is indeed a turnaround for the ages. And we will never go back to where we were just a very short time ago. We're not going back. Today, our border is secure.
God, it feels so fucking
Today, our border is
culty.
secure. Our spirit is restored. Inflation is plummeting. Incomes are rising fast. The roaring economy is roaring like never before. And our enemies are scared. Our military and police are stacked. And America is respected again, perhaps like never before. After 4 years in which millions and millions of illegal aliens poured across our borders, totally unvetted and unchecked, we now have the strongest and most secure border in American history by far.
Suris overlay headshot of Pink Shot.
In the past 9 months, 0 illegal aliens have been admitted to the United States.
You know, we usually fact check Trump when he says stuff like that. I wonder if that's actually true. Let's find out.
But we will always allow people to come in legally, people that will love our country and will work hard to maintain our country. The flow of deadly fentanyl across our border is down by a record 56% in 1 year. And last year, the murder rate saw its single largest decline in recorded history. This is the biggest decline, think of it, in recorded history, the lowest number in over 125 years, year 1900. In fact, substantially before my wonderful father. I had a wonderful father, Fred, before he was born, substantially before he was born. That's a long time ago. He wouldn't like me to say that, but that's a long time ago. The Biden administration and its allies in Congress gave us the worst inflation in the history of our country. But in 12 months, my administration has driven core inflation down to the lowest level in more than 5 years. And in the last 3 months of 2025, it was down to 1.7%. Gasoline, which reached a peak of over $6 a gallon in some states under my predecessor, it was quite honestly a disaster, is now below $2.30 a gallon in most states, and in some places, $1.99 a gallon. And when I visited the great state of Iowa just a few weeks ago, I even saw $1.85 a gallon for gasoline. Mortgage rates are the lowest in 4 years and falling fast, and the annual cost of a typical new mortgage is down almost $5,000 just since I took office. 1 year. And low interest rates will solve the Biden-created housing problem well, at the same time protecting the values of those people who already own a house that really feel rich for the first time in their lives. We want to protect those values. We want to keep those values up. We're going to do both. And we are going to keep it that way. The stock market has set 53 all-time record highs since the election. Think of that, 1 year. Boosting pensions, 401ks, and retirement accounts for the millions and millions of Americans. They're all gaining. Everybody's up, way up. In 4 long years, the last administration got less than $1 trillion in new
Everybody's got money. Nobody is suffering.
In 12 months, I secured commitments for more than $18 trillion pouring in from all over the globe. Think of it, much less than $1 trillion for 4 years versus much more than $18 trillion for 1 year. What a difference a president makes. A short time ago, we were a dead country. Now we are the hottest country anywhere in the world. The hottest.
How are we dead? Like, I just... Can anybody contextualize how America was dead?
As thousands of new businesses are forming in factories, plants, and laboratories are being built, we have added 70,000 new construction jobs in just a very short period of time. It's getting bigger and bigger and stronger. Nobody can believe what they're watching. American oil production is up by more than 600,000 barrels a day, and we just received from our new friend and partner, Venezuela, more than 80 million barrels of oil.
From our new friend and partner. You see, they're no longer the bad socialists.
All-time high because I kept my promise to
Gideon,
drill,
thank you for
drill.
gifting a tier 1 sub.
More Americans are working today than at any time in the history of our country. Think about that. Any time in the history of our country, more working today.
Is that because we have more Americans in the country than we have at any other point in time? Like, that's what you would expect, right? Like, even with employment rate going up, you would still have more Americans working in general if population statistics continue to increase, right?
And 100% of all jobs created under my administration have been in the private sector. We ended DEI in America.
And what does that mean? What does ending DEI mean?
We cut a record number of job-killing regulations, and in 1 year, we have lifted 2.4 million Americans, a record, off of food stamps.
You've lifted Americans off of food stamps. Is that a... So, like, I understand that you're saying you lifted them off of food stamps, but does it feel like being lifted off of food stamps for the Americans that happened to? Or does it feel like they had their food stamps taken away? Like, which one does it feel like for those Americans? Those are the people who I would like to hear from in this particular scenario, Mr. Trump. Yeah, the food stamps that you shut down? That's not lifting people up. That's kicking them off of something that let them eat.
And for all of these reasons, I say tonight, members of Congress, the state of our union is strong. Our country is winning again. In fact, we're winning so much that we really don't know what to do about it.
Oh,
People
my
are asking
fucking
me,
God.
Please, Mr. President, we're winning too much. We can't take it anymore. We're not used to winning in our
What?
country. Until you came
Nobody
along, we
says
just thought we
that.
were losing, but now we're
Nobody's
winning too
fucking
much.
saying
And I
that.
say, no. You're going to win again. You're going to win big.
You're
gonna
gonna win
bigger
again.
than ever.
You're
And to
gonna
prove
win.
that point, to prove that point, here with us
You're
tonight is-
gonna win big. You're gonna keep winning. You're gonna keep doing it. It doesn't fucking mean anything. These are fucking platitudes.
group of winners who just made the entire nation proud. The men's gold medal Olympic hockey team. Come on in.
He's also deep frying his fucking microphone a lot. God, the cult shit is so tiring. You with the.
Go ahead. That's the first time I've ever seen them get up. And actually, not all of them did get up. But they beat a fantastic Canadian team in overtime, as everybody saw, as did the American women who will soon be coming to the White House. They were in the Oval Office before. And I just want to say a second very big congratulations to Team USA. But I have to say that, and I told them this, and we took a vote of the team. I said, anybody votes no, I'm not doing it. So they stood there, and they weren't about to say no, because I've never seen a goaltender play as well as goalie Connor Hellebuck. Think of it, 46 shots on goal, and I asked him, the one shot, the one where you put your stick in the back and it hit the neck of your stick and bounced off, you practiced that, or was that a little lucky? He refused to answer that question. But I just want to tell you that the members of this great hockey squad will be very happy to hear, based on their vote and my vote, and in this case my vote was more important, that I will soon be presenting Connor with our highest civilian honor, which we will be given, and which has been given to many athletes.
How many
over the
dimes
years.
did Trump
Well,
ask
I say
for
many,
those
not too many,
medals?
like 12. It's called the highest civilian honor in our country, the Presidential Medal of Freedom. Great athletes have gotten that, very great, the best, and I thought he deserved
best.
it. And I did take a vote, every single one of them. I said, I'm not giving it if anybody goes no, and every single one of them rapidly put up their hand. So I want to thank you. Well, what a special job you did. What special champions you are. Thank you very much.
But it doesn't mean shit after he gave it to Rush Limbaugh.
I'm also pleased to say that the next time the Olympic torch is lit, it will be here in America for the 2028 Olympics, and it's the summer version right in Los Angeles. We're going to do a good job in Los Angeles.
They're going to do fantastic. They're going to do better than anybody ever has before. That's what they say. I don't know who they is,
And
but
Los Angeles is going to be safe, just like Washington, D.C. is now one of the safest cities in the country. And this year, and I must say I got them both. I got them in the first term, and I was disappointed because I didn't think I'd be the president when this happened. But strange things took place, and now I've got them because I got the Olympics and I got the 2026 FIFA World Cup, and I wanted to claim the 250th, but I didn't get away with that one. I couldn't claim that one for myself. But we're getting the World Cup, so we have the World Cup and the Olympics
I like
coming,
how
and that is
it's
exciting news.
about him. It's not about the athletes who actually won. those things.
So
It's
this will
about
be a year
Trump.
to celebrate our country and the heroes who have kept it free. Men like Buddy Taggart. At age 17, Buddy volunteered to defend America in World War II, serving in the Pacific under the great General Douglas MacArthur. He fought bravely in the famous Battle of Manila, worked so hard. He was badly wounded and almost killed by enemy machine guns in Luzon. And 81 years ago this month, he liberated the largest internment camp in the Philippines, one of the largest anywhere in the world. But he earned many honors, including a Purple Heart and a Bronze Star, came home, started a family, and tonight he is in the gallery looking forward to July 4th, 2026, his 100th birthday.
At least he didn't make it about him that time. All I'll say on that one, at least he didn't make it about him.
So, Buddy, you're a brave man, and we salute you. Even in times of challenge, setback, and immense heartache, the spirit of 1776 has always shone through very brightly. It was July 4th of last year when floodwaters tore through a girls' summer camp in Central Texas. One of the worst things I've ever seen. I was there, rising 26 feet in the matter of minutes, tragically claiming many, many lives. You all remember that one? As the waters threatened to sweep her away, 11-year-old Millie Kate McClament closed her eyes and prayed to God. She thought she was going to die. Those prayers were answered when Coast Guard rescue swimmer Scott Ruskin descended from a helicopter above. Nobody knew where he came from. It was Scott's first ever rescue mission, a young guy, but very brave, very, very top, always top in his class. And he lifted not just Millie Kate, but 164 others to safety.
Again, at least he's not making this about him, this part. But y'all have said, just wait, he's not done, which scares me.
People watched Scott from a distance, and they couldn't believe what they were seeing. The winds were blowing, the rain was pouring, everything was going, and that rapid water, nobody's ever seen anything like it. They said, wow, that's something. Tonight, Scott and Millie Kate are here together, reunited for the very first time. Thank you, Scott, Millie Kate.
Can't wait for the astronomical crash out. We'll see.
Officer Ruskin, I'm pleased to inform you that I am now awarding you the Legion of Merit for extraordinary heroism, which is what it was, extraordinary heroism. Thank you. And I'd like to have the military aide to please come down and take care of the service. Military aid, thank you very much. Take care of that very important service.
From PolitiFact, at the start of the Trump speech, held a sign that appeared to read, "Black people aren't apes." Green was soon escorted out of the chamber.
Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And they're really doing it for the next generation. But now it's our turn. Together we're building a nation where every child has the chance to reach higher and go further. Where government answers to the people, not the powerful, and where the interests of hardworking American citizens are always our first.
But the government does answer not to the people, but the powerful. Our current government answers almost exclusively to the powerful more than it does the people. What, bud?
Ultimate concern. That is the debt we owe to the heroes who came before us, and that is the promise we must keep to America for our 250th year. Last year, I urged this Congress to begin the mission by passing the largest tax cuts in American history, and our Republican majorities delivered so beautifully. Thank you, Republicans.
Thank you, Republicans. Thank you so much. Thank you. You're amazing, all of you.
All Democrats, every single one of them, voted against these really important and very necessary massive tax cuts. They wanted large-scale tax increases to hurt the people instead. But we held strong, and with the great, big, beautiful bill, we gave you no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, and no tax on Social Security for our great seniors.
Tax on overtime barely affected most people, and tax on tips barely affected most people because most people who actually work in the service industry did not calculate their tips in the first place. But okay, bud.
And we also made interest on auto loans tax deductible the first time, but only if the car is made in America.
Meanwhile, the credit that was given originally for electric vehicles was completely gutted away.
Recently in Pennsylvania, I met Megan Hemhauser, a devoted mom who's homeschools her children, beautiful, 2 children, during the day while waiting tables at night as her husband works overtime operating very heavy equipment. Megan is here this evening and she's happy to tell you that she is so much richer because with no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, and her expanded child tax credit done again by Republicans, Megan and her husband will take home more than $5,000 extra just for the year, cutting her tax bill in more than half. Megan, please stand up. We're fighting for you, Megan.
I grabbed a single token individual to do this.
Thank you, Megan. We're fighting for you, Megan. Under our bill, parents like Megan can also activate their children's brand new Trump accounts. And I didn't name it.
I didn't name it. No, not me. But definitely the people I pay named it.
Nobody believes me, but I did not name it. It was named by a very tall man sitting right there in the 3rd row. Nice man, a good man. Tax-free investment accounts for every American child. This is something that's so special and has taken off and gone through the roof. Millions will be pre-funded courtesy of the U.S. Treasury and private individuals like Michael and Susan Dell, who have donated $6,250 million to fund the Trump accounts for 25 million American children. They're great people. When I asked Michael Dell, how do you make all that money? He said, well, I just sat on my dorm in school, and I made computers, and I'd sell them to people. And I just kept selling and selling and selling, and pretty amazing story. That's called the American dream. He sold a lot of computers, a lot of those laptops, so I congratulate him on that, but I really thank him and Susan, as well as others like Brad Gerstner, a very tremendous guy. He was behind it right from the beginning. Brad Gerstner, thank you, Brad.
I think it was the year 2000 when it happened, early 2001.
So with modest additional contributions, these young people's accounts could grow to over $100,000 or more by the time they turn 18. Think of it, how much money is that for somebody that started with nothing? Over 100,000, could be much more than that. To make this investment in our children's future, go to trumpaccounts.gov, trumpaccounts.gov. And a lot of people are doing it. It's setting every record in the book. It's popular. They knew what it was going to take. I'm so proud of them. I'm so proud of the people that got it started. And now it's just taken off. One of the primary reasons for our country's stunning economic turnaround, the biggest in history, where the Dow Jones broke 50,000 4 years ahead of schedule, and the S&P hit 7,000, where it wasn't supposed to do it for many years, were tariffs.
And what connections does Michael Dell have?
Hundreds of billions of dollars to make great deals.
I don't know.
Both economically and on a national security basis. Everything was working well. Countries that were ripping us off for decades are now paying us hundreds of billions of dollars. They were ripping us so badly. You all know that. Everybody knows it. Even
everybody knows it. You all know it. Everybody does.
These countries are now happy, and so are we. We made deals. The deals are all done.
But the Dow.
And they're happy. They're not making money like they used to, but we're making a lot of money. There was no inflation, tremendous growth, and the big story was how Donald Trump called the economy correctly, and 22 Nobel Prize winners in economics didn't. They got it totally wrong.
Oh my fucking God! Now really it's wrong. All about him.
4 days ago, an unfortunate ruling from the United States Supreme Court. It just came down. It came down. Very unfortunate ruling. But the good news is that almost all countries and corporations want to keep the deal that they already made, right, Scott? Knowing that the legal power that I, as president, have to make a new deal could be far worse for them, and therefore they will continue to work along the same successful path that we had negotiated before the Supreme Court's unfortunate involvement. So despite the disappointing ruling, these powerful, country-saving, it's saving our country, the kind of money we're taking in, peace-protecting. Many of the wars I settled was because of the threat of tariffs. I wouldn't have been able to settle them without. Will remain in place under fully approved and tested alternative legal statutes. And they have been tested for a long time. They're a little more complex, but they're actually probably better, leading to a solution that will be even stronger than before. Congressional action will not be necessary. It's already time-tested and approved. And as time goes by, I believe the tariffs paid for...
Congressional action will not be necessary. It's already time-tested. Nope, we don't need the checks and balances. We don't need the other powers to do their jobs. No, absolutely not. We only need mein Führer. We need my words.
Or by foreign countries will, like in the past, substantially replace the modern-day system of income tax, taking a great financial burden off the people that I love. Right? Moving forward, factories, jobs, investment, and trillions of dollars will continue pouring into the United States of America because we finally have a president who puts America first. I put America first. I love America.
No, he puts Donald Trump first and then tries to sell us on the idea that it got better because of him.
For decades before I came along, we had the exact opposite.
Oh, my
trade to
fucking
healthcare,
God.
From energy to immigration. Everything was stolen and rigged in order to drain the wealth out of the productive, hardworking people who make our country great, who make our country run. Under Biden and his corrupt partners in Congress and beyond, it reached a breaking point with the Green New scam, open borders for everyone. They poured in by the millions and millions from prisons, from mental institutions. There
From
were murders,
mental institutions and
11,888 murders. They came into our...
They came in from millions from mental institutions. Where is the data saying that mental institutions are where we are getting the majority of our immigrants? What the fuck are you on about, sir? That sounds blatantly incorrect. Said asylum seekers, and so he thinks it's from mental asylums. Ah, God, don't you love the President of the United States? Isn't he such a smart little guy? Look at him when he says words. He's so smart. He's mistaking asylum seekers for people that came from asylums. Yeah. God, I love the President of the United States. He's such a fart smeller. Man, look at him. He does such a good job. This man, if there's ever a man who knows what's up, there is no oneer who knows what's upperer than the President of the United States. Let me tells ya. And good news, there's a real chance Mike will lose his speaker position in the next few weeks.
Country, you allowed that to happen. And record-setting inflation that cost the typical family $34,000 in just a speck of time. Now the same people in this chamber who voted for those disasters suddenly used the word affordability, a word. They just used it. Somebody gave it to them, knowing full well that they caused and created the increased prices that all of our citizens had to endure. You caused that problem. You caused that problem. They knew their statements were a lie. They knew it. They knew their statements were a dirty, rotten lie. Their policies created the high prices. Our policies are rapidly ending them. We are doing really well. Those prices are plummeting downward. The price of eggs is down 60%, Madam Secretary, thank you. The cost of chicken, butter, fruit, hotels, automobiles, rent is lower today than when I took office by a lot. And even beef, which was very high, is starting to come down significantly. Just hold on a little while, we get it down. And soon you will see numbers that few people would think were possible to achieve just a short
Nobody
time
would have thought it
ago.
possible.
Nobody
would have thought it could have happened.
Especially energy.
Not without
energy
me.
Going down to numbers like that, they cannot believe it.
I'm so important.
It's like another big tax cut. I'm also confronting one of the biggest ripoffs of our times, the crushing cost of health care caused by you. Since the passage of the Unaffordable Care Act, sometimes referred to as Obamacare, big insurance companies have gotten rich. It was meant for the insurance companies, not for the people. With our government giving them hundreds and hundreds of billions of dollars a year as their stock prices soared 1,000, 1,200, 1,400, and even 1,700%, like nothing else. That's why I introduced the great health care plan. I want to stop all payments to big insurance companies and instead give that money directly to the people so they can buy their own health care, which will be better health care at a much lower cost.
Trump Care. It's going to be as good as Trump University and Trump Steaks were.
In addition, my plan requires maximum price transparency. That's a big deal. Sounds so simple, so big.
So simple, so big.
In my first term, and the Democrats immediately terminated it with full knowledge that they were doing a very bad thing for the people. Of course, we're going to go way up, and that's what happened, and now I'm bringing them way down on healthcare and everything else. I'm also ending the wildly inflated cost of prescription drugs like has never happened before. Other presidents tried to do it, but they never could. They tried.
They tried. They tried so hard.
They couldn't do it. They didn't even come
But
close.
I'm the
They were all
bigliest.
talk
I'm
and
the
no action.
best.
But I got it done. Under my just enacted most favored nation agreements, Americans who have for decades paid by far the highest prices of any nation anywhere in the world for prescription drugs will now pay the lowest price anywhere in the world for drugs. Anywhere. The lowest price.
Let's see if he actually makes good on that. I don't see that happening.
So in my first year of the second term, Should be my third term. What?
Should be my third. Should be my third term. Should be my third term. My guy, you're a president of the United States. You don't get third terms.
I took prescription drugs, a very big part of healthcare, from the highest price in the entire world to the lowest. That's a big achievement. The result is price differences of 300, 400, 500, 600% and more, all available right now at a new website called TrumpRx.gov. And I didn't name that one either, by the way.
Yes, okay. I didn't name it either. Just people happen to love me that much.
Ever to get that big discount, and it is big. Catherine Rayner. For 5 years, she and her husband have struggled with infertility, and they turned to IVF. One drug has been costing Catherine $4,000 to purchase. But a few weeks ago, she logged onto the TrumpRx website and got that same drug that cost $4,000, got it for under $500, a reduction of much more, actually, than $3,500.
Why is the drug $500 still? I'm sorry. It's not even that I just don't believe the things Trump says. I don't. But I'm just curious as to why the drug was $5,000 in the first fucking place.
Catherine, we are all praying for you, and you're going to be a great mom. So now I'm calling on Congress to codify my most favored nation program into law. Now, the one thing, I'm not sure it matters because it's going to be very hard for somebody that comes along after me to say, let's raise drug prices by 700 or 800%. But John and Mike, if you don't mind, codify it anyway. He may do it. Codify it anyway. Thank you. Many Americans are also concerned that energy demand from AI data centers could unfairly drive up their electric utility bills. Tonight, I'm pleased to announce that I have negotiated the new Ratepayer Protection Pledge. You know what that is? We're telling the major tech companies that they have the obligation to provide for their own power needs. They can build their own power plants as part of their factory so that no one's prices will go up. And in many cases, prices of electricity will go down for the community and very substantially down. This is a unique strategy never used in this country before. We have an old grid. It could never handle the kind of numbers, the amount of electricity that's needed. So I'm telling them they can build their own plant. They're going to produce their own electricity. It will ensure the company's ability to get electricity while at the same time lowering prices of electricity for you and could be very substantial for all of your cities and towns. You're going to see some good things happen over the next number of years. Another pillar of the American dream that has been under attack is home ownership. With us tonight is Rachel Wiggins, a mom of two from Houston. She placed bids on 20 homes and lost all of those bids to gigantic investment firms that bypassed inspection, paid all cash, and turned those houses into rentals, stealing away her American dream. She was devastated. Stories like this are why last month I signed executive order to ban large Wall Street investment firms from buying up in the thousands single-family homes.
Again, they don't own that many, all things considered. It's one of those things where, like, it's not bad that he did that. That's a perfectly reasonable thing for him to do. But that is not the reason why people tend to be homeless. That is not the reason people tend to struggle with housing, by and large. It's still good to fuck those people. But it is not the end-all, be-all for fixing that particular broken part of our economy.
And now I'm asking Congress to make that ban permanent because homes for people, really, that's what we want. We want homes for people, not for corporations. Corporations are doing just fine. Racel, thank you very much. Good luck with your home. You'll get one soon. We're also working to make it easier for Americans to save for retirement. And under this administration, we will always protect Social Security and Medicare. They are not protecting it for our seniors. We will.
All right, so PolitiFact. First thing, Trump's rhetoric about tariff was part of their year of lies. Trump said tariffs paid for by foreign nations. That's actually false. Next thing, Trump said that he signed the largest tax cuts in history when factoring in that Donald Trump's One Big Beautiful Bill ended 2017 tax cuts that otherwise would have expired, which tax experts say is a plausible way of characterizing it. Then the tax savings from the 2025 law rank third on the list of biggest tax cuts. I love when a website randomly adds more shit to it as I'm going. Okay. So that's a mostly false. Trump says U.S. just received more than 80 million barrels of oil from Venezuela. Tank Trackers is an online service that tracks and reports the shipments of crude oil. They recorded that 7.54 million barrels of crude oil deported Venezuela from January 3rd to February 5th. Let's see here. So the U.S. didn't receive 80 million barrels of oil, it looks like. 80 million barrels of oil is equivalent to 6 days of U.S. oil production. So we got 6 days. Even if he's right, we only got 6 days of that. That's Weird. Trump said gasoline is now below $2.30 a gallon in most states. Looking at statewide averages, he's wrong. No one state is below $2.30 per gallon. The state with the nation's lowest is Oklahoma at $2.37. Okay, so that was also a lie. What else do we have here? Members of the U.S. men's hockey team. Trump says women's team will visit the White House. The women's team actually said they couldn't attend the State of the Union. Okay. Stu... Representative Al Green held up a sign, was escorted out. The one that said black people aren't apes. I already checked that out. See here. Skipping Trump's speech, Senator Chris Murphy said millions are losing health care. Speaking at counter-programming rally before Trump's address, Murphy Decon said millions of Americans are losing their health care because the president has chosen corruption to pat the pockets of his billionaire friends instead of helping average Americans. On January 1st, enhanced tax credits that help reduce health care costs for most people purchasing through the Affordable Care Act expired, and the health care plan, the research nonprofit KFF estimated that premium costs would more than double in 2026 for affordable health care enrollees. So we get the Trump Care thing where you can get your drugs for cheaper, but on average, every single bit of your healthcare is going to cost way more because you lost the ACA. Fantastic. Fantastic. Trump said, I secured commitments for more than $18 trillion pouring in from all over the globe. This is false. The White House website since mid-November has shown a figure of $9.6 trillion, only half as much as Trump has repeatedly said. Can he tell the truth, please? Ended DEI in America. President Trump campaigned on a promise to revoke federal initiatives for diversity, equity, and inclusion. It is one of the 75 Trump promises we are tracking on our MAGA meter. We rated this promise about DEI in the works. Trump's efforts to revoke diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives extended to universities and halted tens of billions of dollars in transportation infrastructure funding. So by ending DEI, he fucked over people being able to get on buses. Fantastic. Let's see here. Trump says the flow of fentanyl is down 56%. That number's actually unknowable. Last year, the murder rate saw its single largest decline in history. He's right about the largest decline, but the lowest in 125 years is an exaggeration. Okay, what else do we have here? Trump said inflation is plummeting. Inflation has eased somewhat during his second term, but plummeting is an exaggeration. Yeah, it looks like it's kind of just staying the fucking same. Okay. He says that he inherited inflation at record levels, but that's not true because, again, if we look at the actual inflation trends, we can see that in 2022, Biden had record level inflation because of what he inherited from Trump going in. And it's not just Trump. Some of it was COVID as well, right? And then you can see that got a drastic decline in 2023. Biden got inflation down in October of 2024 to really low levels, and we've stayed kind of bouncing around those levels since then. So that's just a fucking lie. Okay.
Will always protect Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid. Since I took office, the typical 401k balance is up by at least $30,000. That's a lot of money. We have millions and millions of people, because the stock market has done so well, setting all those records. Your 401ks are way up.
But if okay, so the average 401k being up $30,000, let me put that into context. $30,000 is not a lot in a 401k. It really isn't not a lot at all. Trey says there are 4 new fat checks at the top. I will get to them in a minute.
Americans still do not have access to a retirement plan with matching contributions from...
Oh, right. The thing about the 401k. So $30,000 is a good increase in a 401k, but if your 401k had previously rubber banded really low, like they did in COVID, then that's not really a lot. And on top of that, if your 401k is supposed to be, for lack of a better term, a retirement plan, it's not a good one, but it's the best that most people have. $30,000 gets you through 1 year of fucking retirement for most people. That's it.
Employer. To remedy this gross disparity, I'm announcing that next year my administration will give these often forgotten American workers, great people, the people that built our country, access to the same type of retirement plan offered to every federal worker. We will match your contribution with up to $1,000 each year. As we ensure that all Americans can profit from a rising stock market, let's also ensure that members of Congress cannot corruptly profit from using insider
Elizabeth Warren just clapping away.
They stood up for that. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. Did Nancy Pelosi stand up if she was here? Doubt it. Pass the Stop Insider Trading Act without delay.
That's a good one. That one's actually a good one if it does that.
I wasn't sure if anybody even on this side was going to applaud for that. I'm very impressed. Thank you. I'm very impressed. But when it comes to the corruption that is plundering, it's plundering America. There's been no more stunning example than Minnesota, where members of the Somali community have pillaged an estimated $19 billion from the American taxpayer.
Oh my fucking God, we're at the Somali shit again?
And California, Massachusetts, Maine, and many other states are even worse. This is the kind of corruption that shreds the fabric of a nation, and we are working on it like you wouldn't believe. So tonight, although started 4 months ago, I am officially announcing the war on fraud to be led by our great Vice President, J.D. Vance.
The war on Somali fraud is going to be held by the guy who lied about them eating cats and dogs. Fantastic, let me tell you.
We'll get it done. And if we're able to find enough of that fraud, we will actually have a balanced budget overnight. It'll go very quickly. That's the kind of money you're talking about. We'll balance our budget. The Somali pirates who ransacked Minnesota remind us that there are large parts of the world where bribery, corruption, and lawlessness are the norm, not the exception. Importing these cultures through unrestricted immigration and open borders brings those problems right here to the USA. And it is the American people who pay the price in higher medical bills, car insurance rates, rent, taxes, and perhaps most importantly, crime. We will take care of this problem. We're going to take care of this problem. We are not playing games. Delilah Coleman was only 5 years old in June 2024 when a 18-wheel tractor trailer plowed into her stopped car traveling at 60 miles an hour or more. The driver was an illegal alien let in by Joe Biden and given a commercial driver's license by open borders politicians in California. Doctors said Delilah would never be able to walk or talk, have a good life. She wouldn't even be able to eat again. But against all odds,
you know Trump doesn't care about this person. They're just
she's here
a
this
tool,
evening
right?
With her dad, Marcus, a fantastic man. Delilah, please, you are a great inspiration. Please stand up. Thank you, Delilah. Many, if not most, illegal aliens do not speak English and cannot read even the most basic road signs as to direction, speed, danger, or location. That's why tonight I'm calling on Congress.
Yes, they fucking can. You don't have to be American to know what a fucking stop sign looks like. Jesus Christ. This fucking idiot.
To pass what we will call the Delilah Law, barring any state from granting commercial driver's licenses to illegal aliens. And yesterday, as you probably saw at the White House, I hosted a ceremony with Americans who lost their treasured loved ones to the scourge of illegal immigration. People came into our country, how we allowed this to happen with our open borders. These are the angel moms and families that for decades our government betrayed and our media totally ignored. It was terrible. Hard to believe, actually. In 2023, a 16-year-old high school cheerleader named Elizabeth Medina was supposed to perform in her town's Christmas parade, but she never arrived. Her mother, Jacqueline, went home to look for her, and she found her lying dead in a bathtub, bleeding profusely after being stabbed 25 times. Elizabeth's killer was a previously arrested illegal alien who had broken in and brutally extinguished the brightest light in her family's life, violently and viciously. Her heartbroken mother is in the gallery to remind everyone in this chamber exactly why we are deporting illegal alien criminals to our country at record numbers, and we're getting them the hell out of here fast. We don't want them.
Remember, the reason that happened was because he was illegal, not because of any other problems, not because of any other issues. No, the real problem was that he was here illegally. We're all fine with legal criminals. In fact, we usually hire them to run the fucking country. Said cherry-picking bastard the fuck. He knows that his base responds really well to emotional arguments.
Thank you very much, Jacqueline. Thank you. We can never forget that many in this room not only allowed the border invasion to happen before I got involved, but indeed they would do it all over again if they ever had the chance. If they ever got elected, they would open up those borders to some of the worst criminals anywhere in the world. The only thing standing between Americans and a wide open border right now is President Donald J. Trump and our great Republican patriots in Congress. Thank you.
Donald Trump, the only thing between you and bad
Democrats in
shit
this chamber
happening.
have cut off all funding for the Department of Homeland Security. It's all cut off. It's all cut off. They have instituted another Democrat shutdown, the first one costing us 2 points on GDP. 2 points we lost on GDP, which probably made them quite happy, actually. Now they have closed the agency responsible for protecting Americans from terrorists and murderers. Tonight I'm demanding the full and immediate restoration of all funding for the border security, Homeland Security of the United States, and also for helping people clean up their snow. We have no money because of the Democrats, and it would be nice, we'd love to give you a hand at cleaning it up, but you give no money. Nobody's getting paid. It's a shame. So you have to think about it. We have, in case you didn't know, a pretty large snowstorm out there. One of the great things about the State of the Union is how it gives Americans the chance to see clearly what their representatives really believe. So tonight I'm inviting every legislator to join with my administration in reaffirming a fundamental principle. If you agree with this statement, then stand up and show your support. The first duty of the American government is to protect American citizens, not illegal aliens.
That's just a fucking show of loyalty thing. That's all that is. That's Trump trying to get a show of heads that are willing to agree with a vapid statement.
Isn't that a shame? You should be ashamed of yourself not standing up. You should be ashamed of yourself.
Yeah,
That is why
show
I'm
of
also
loyalty.
asking you to end deadly sanctuary cities that protect the criminals and enact serious penalties for public officials who block the removal of criminal aliens. In many cases, drug lords, murderers all over our country. They're blocking the removal of these people out of our country, and you should be ashamed of yourself.
Jesus fucking Christ! I mentioned the cult shit before, but that's getting way worse.
And perhaps most importantly, I'm asking you to approve the Save America Act. To stop illegal aliens and others who are unpermitted persons from voting in our sacred American elections. The cheating is rampant in our elections. It's rampant.
Is it though?
It's very simple. All voters must show voter ID. All voters must show proof of citizenship in order to vote. And no more crooked mail-in ballots except for illness, disability, military, or travel. None.
No more crooked mail-in ballots.
Easy one. And by the way, it's polling at 89%,
Jesus
including
fucking
Democrats.
Christ.
89%. And even the new communist mayor of New York City, I think he's a nice guy, actually. Speak to him a lot.
Fucking
Bad
hell.
policy, but nice guy. Just said they want people to shovel snow. They got hit hard. Wants them to shovel snow, but if you apply for that job, you need to show 2 original forms of ID and a Social Security card. Yet they don't want identification for the greatest privilege of them all, voting in America. No, it's no good. No good. Both Republicans and Democrats overwhelmingly agree on the policy that we just enunciated. And Congress should unite and enact this common sense, country-saving
Enunciated?
legislation right now. And it should
You mean enumerated, but okay.
before anything else happens. And the reason they don't want to do it, why would anybody not want voter ID? One reason, because they want to cheat. There's only one reason. They make up all excuses. They say it's racist. They come up with things. You almost say, what imagination they have. They want to cheat. They have cheated. And their policy is so bad that the only way they can get elected is to cheat. And we're going to stop it. We have to stop it, John.
Fucking hell. Except it's not a voter ID bill, it's a poll tax.
And here is one more opportunity to show common sense in government. In the gallery tonight are Sage Blair and her mother, Michelle. In 2021, Sage was 14 when school officials in Virginia sought to socially transition her to a new gender, treating her as a boy and hiding it from her parents.
What?
Hard to believe, isn't it? Before long, a confused Sage
Something
ran away from
seems
home
fucking
after
fishy
she
about that.
was found in a horrific situation in Maryland. A left-wing judge refused to return Sage to her parents because they did not immediately state that their daughter was their son. Sage was thrown into an all-boys state home and suffered terribly for a long time. But today, all of that is behind them because Sage is a proud and wonderful young woman with a full-ride scholarship to Liberty University. Sage and Michelle, please stand up. And thank you for your great bravery. And who can believe that we're even speaking about things like this? 15 years ago, if somebody was up here and said that, they'd say, what's wrong with him? But now we have to say it because it's going on all over numerous states without even telling the parents. But surely we can all agree no state can be allowed to rip children from their parents' arms and transition them to a new gender against the parents' will. Who would believe
Who's
that we were
doing
talking
that,
about
though?
We must ban it, and we must ban it immediately.
Which state is doing that? Which states are forcibly taking kids away from their parents and transing the kids?
Look, nobody
Find me
says
the
that.
state that's
These
actually
people are
fucking
crazy.
doing
I'm
that.
telling you, they're crazy.
If you're in my audience, can you find me the
We're lucky
evidence
we
that
have a
that's
country with
fucking
people like
happening?
this. Democrats are destroying our country, but we've stopped it just in the nick of time, didn't we?
I don't think you'll find anything for me.
No one cares more about protecting America's youth than our wonderful First Lady. Now a movie star. She's a movie star. Can you believe it? Who would have believed that?
Because
Over
of a
the past
propaganda
year,
film.
She has had an incredible impact championing AI legislation, advancing a landmark executive order on foster care, and helping secure $30 million to launch the Melania Trump Foster Youth to Independence Initiative. It's a tremendous, really a tremendous thing that happened and had a lot of bipartisan support. She gets much better bipartisan support than I do. I get none. She gets a lot. Someday you're going to have to tell me how you did that. And students and educators in every state have joined the First Lady's efforts in the presidential AI challenge, keeping America's next generation positioned to succeed and strongly succeed in the future. Tonight, we welcome two young people whose lives reflect the First Lady's impact, Sierra Burns and Everest Nevermont. Thank you both, and Melania, thank you. I know how hard you worked on it. Thank you very much. I'm very proud to say that during my time in office, both the first 4 years and in particular this last year, there has been a tremendous renewal in religion, faith, Christianity, and belief in God. Tremendous renewal.
The real question is, why does that matter? Why is that a good or bad thing? Please explain.
This is especially true among young people, and a big part of that had to do with my great friend, Charlie Kirk, a great guy, great guy.
Yeah, Nene Goblin, don't Fed post. Don't be a fucking moron.
So last year,
You're
Charlie
smarter
was
than
violently
that.
murdered by an assassin and martyred, really, martyred for his beliefs. His wonderful wife, Erica, is with us tonight. Erica, please stand.
Oh my god, the waterworks, they gotta start now. She can turn them on and off at will, I swear to God.
Thank you, Erica. Been through a lot. In Charlie's memory, we must all come together to reaffirm that America is one nation under God, and we must totally reject political violence of any kind.
Unless we're using ICE to enact it.
We love religion, and we love bringing it back, and it's coming back at levels that nobody actually thought possible.
Nobody ever thought it was possible. Nobody
Above all,
ever.
unleashing America's promise requires keeping our community safe. We have made incredible strides, yet dangerous repeat offenders continue to be released by pro-crime Democrat politicians again and again. We are honored to be joined tonight by a woman who's been through hell, Anya Zaretska. In 2022, she and her beautiful daughter, so beautiful, what a beautiful young woman, Irina, fled war-torn Ukraine to live with relatives near Charlotte, North Carolina. And by the way, what's going on with Charlotte? Last summer, 23-year-old Irina was riding home on the train when a deranged monster who had been arrested over a dozen times and was released through no cash bail stood up and viciously slashed a knife through her neck and body. No one will ever forget. There were people on that train. No one will ever forget the expression of terror on Irina's face as she looked up at her attacker in the last seconds of her life. She died instantly. She had escaped a brutal war only to be slain by a hardened criminal, set free to kill in America, came in through open borders. Mrs. Zaretska, tonight I promise you we will ensure justice for your magnificent daughter, Irina. How do you not stand? How do you not stand? I'm asking this Congress to pass tough legislation to ensure that violent and dangerous repeat offenders...
Man, how do you not stand has the same energy as please clap.
Starting last summer, I deployed our National Guard and federal law enforcement to restore law and order to our most dangerous cities, including Memphis, Tennessee, big success, New Orleans, Louisiana, big success, and our nation's capital itself, Washington, D.C., where we have almost no crime anymore in Washington, D.C. How did that happen?
We'll have to look at the PolitiFact on that, I guess. See if that one's actually happening.
In fact, crime in Washington is now at the lowest level ever recorded, and murders in D.C. this January were down close to 100% from a year ago. They don't like to hear that. One of the sick people, one of the brave service members who helped achieve this stunning turnaround was 20-year-old West Virginia Army National Guard Specialist Sarah Beckstrom. After a 4-month deployment, she voluntarily extended her service, and her rank was going to be lifted. She was doing so well. They were so proud of her. But the very next day, she was on patrol near the White House when she was ambushed and shot in the head by a terrorist monster from Afghanistan. Shouldn't have been in our country. And all because she wore the uniform of our nation, she was shot. He traveled here because he didn't like people wearing our uniform. He was sick and deranged, shouldn't have been in our country. Sarah Beckstrom died in order to defend our capital, and we are honored to be joined by her wonderful parents, Gary and Eva Lee. Your daughter was a true American patriot, and she will be greatly missed. She was a great person. I saw reports on her. They've never seen anything like it.
I've never seen anything like it. I never ever see anything like it, but I most certainly never see anything like it every time.
So sorry. Thank you very much.
Said rest in peace, sir. Fuck you for using her death as a political stunt.
Perfect. She was perfect. Serving alongside Sarah that day was Staff Sergeant Andrew Wolf. The terrorist shot Andrew in the head, and no one thought he could possibly make it. The two of them, Sarah and Andrew, both shot violently in the head. Neither was expected to make it. They weren't even given a chance, except his wonderful mother, named Melody, who I spoke to the same night, and she was so positive. The doctors thought that Andrew was gone. But his mother said, no, Mr. President, Andrew will be fine. He's going to make it.
Why do I feel like I'm in the middle of a church sermon?
No chance.
Where the pastor just
sir. He's going to be
took
okay.
off their watch.
A conversation that I had with her that night, with her son laying helplessly in bed, blood all over. Everybody is praying, she said, sir, he will be okay. The doctors didn't understand what she was saying. And after looking at the results of the damage done, neither did I. She was so strong and conclusive that even Andrew's great father felt she didn't really understand the gravity of the situation. But she turned out to be right. Right, Melanie? She turned out to be right. Amazing, actually. I said, where does this woman come from? She's the most positive person I've ever met. With God's help, Andrew has battled back from the edge of death, and We're talking about the edge of death. On his way to a miraculous recovery. He's got a little work to do, but he's doing great. Nice to see you. He's a good-looking guy. Nice to see you. Thanks, Andrew. Thank you very much. So, Andrew, while you're up, now I'm going to ask a highly respected General James Stewart to present Staff Sergeant Andrew Wolf and the great family of Sarah Beckstrom with the award created by our late great President George Washington himself. It's called the Purple Heart. We love you all. Love you. We're proudly restoring safety for Americans at home, and we are also restoring security for Americans abroad. Our country has never been stronger. In my first 10 months, I ended 8 wars, including Cambodia.
Oh, my fucking God.
Sick people. Cambodia and Thailand. Pakistan.
You're sick people because we're pointing out that you're lying. Let's go check that fact check thing. Let's see how that's going right now for him. Let's go ahead and refresh that page. See what's at the top right now. Okay, 2021, 25. Erica Kirk, family members of Minnesota, Melissa Hortman are among guests. Family members of victims of political gun violence are attending the State of the Union. Trump introduced Erica Kirk, the widow of TPUSA. Trump said we must all come together. 2 Minnesota Democrats in the U.S. House, Benny McCollum and Kelly Morrison, invited Colin Hortman, the son of State Representative Melissa Hortman, and his wife from Labor. Okay. Say Trump said majority support voting legislation. Well, the White House didn't immediately respond to our question about the poll he was citing, but the president recently referred to an August Pew research that found that 83% of adults supporting voters to show government-issued ID included 71% of Democrats and 95% of Republicans. So, like, here's the thing. I am okay with having to show your ID at the polling booth if IDs are given for free and not something that I have to pay $25 fucking for. When New York hired snow shovelers, applicant needed to show 2 forms of original ID and Social Security, which is more than the state requires for voting. This needs context. Mayor Zoran Radami told reporters that this was a long-standing program, that the shovelers were being paid, which is one reason for the identification requirement. He said federal law requires employers, including those to a city, to verify IDs in order to pay employees. We're not allowed to just cut checks to individuals for their work. Okay. Axel says, wait, only $25? I still think it should be free. I just thought it would be more. Here's the thing about $25, though. $1.50 is a loaf of bread. $3 is a jar of preserves, and $3.50 is a jar of peanut butter. That is, for many people, a week's worth of provisions on its own, if they are having to live by pure scarcity standards. As somebody who's been homeless and has tried to, or has had to be in those scarcity standards before, $25 was something that I simply could not spend. That money had to go to the barest of minimums, everything that I could do. I will not mince words about the fact that I stole a lot of food back then. For the time that I was there. I was working at Publix and I 100% ate a lot of food I was not supposed to there. Natural gas production's at an all-time high because I kept my promise to drill, baby, drill. Let's see. It is up from 99. Okay, so what else is in here? Eliminating fraud will not balance the budget. While speaking about fraud in Minnesota, California, and other states, Trump said if we're able to find enough of the fraud, we'll actually have a balanced budget overnight. That's actually false. The amount of fraud committed against federal government programs is large, but that dollar amount doesn't come close to equaling the dollar amount of the federal deficit. The highest nationwide fraud estimate is $521 billion. If all that were to be recouped, it would still be less than a third of the 2025 deficit. And yet somehow Democrats always manage to lower that deficit every single time that they're in. Weird. Jessica says, renewing my ID was $50. Getting my passport was $169. Yep. Mr. Braindead says Publix is a great deli. Steal as much as you want. I won't say shit. Trump says DC is one of the safest cities in the country now. PolitiFact says that there is a lag in city-by-city crime data that makes it hard to draw comparisons, but the crime rate in DC has been trending down according to Metropolitan Washington Police data. At least he's not completely lying about that, but maybe there's context that I'm missing. Who knows? Trump's new website slashed some drug prices, but 600% reductions aren't actually realistic. Trump says he's ending the wildly inflated cost of prescription drugs like it's never happened before, dropping prices for Americans to some of the lowest in the world. This exaggerates Trump's success so far. The newly launched Trump RX government website provides some significant discounts, but they are largely limited to drugs for weight loss and fertility that many Americans have to pay for out of pocket because insurance plans offer limited to no coverage. For example, the site offers a fertility medicine for as little as $220.50 down. Let's see here. They offer Wegovy pills for $149 a month. Other pharmacies or websites. Wait, hold on. Did he just do GoodRx? Because that's what GoodRx does. That's like identical to what GoodRx does. Hold on. I'm curious. Let's go to Trump RX and let's go to Good RX. Because I'm pretty certain he just did the exact same. Motherfuck! He didn't do anything special. That's what Good RX does. That's the same price that they do Wegovy for on Good RX. That's. He just did the same fucking shits. What the fuck? What the actual fuck? Okay, so there is context missing. Yeah, congratulations. You made a website to do something for shit that already fucking works. Oh my god, this stupid fucking moron. So the first month is $149. It's at least double for the second month. God fucking damn it. Why? And before it turns out Trump RX is just a skin over Good RX. So, like, let's look up Wegovy, right? Jesus Christ. Hold on. Hold on a second. Okay, so you have to see if you're eligible on there. But $199, Wegovy as low as $199. This is fucking Good RX. This the fucking same thing. You did nothing. You did absolutely fucking nothing, and you claimed that you're the bestest in the fucking world. Jesus fucking Christ. What is this shit?
And India would have been a nuclear war. 35 million people said the Prime Minister of Pakistan would have died if it were not for my involvement. Kosovo and Serbia, Israel and Iran, Egypt and Ethiopia, Armenia and...
Can I be a proper Democrat and just, like, leave? I get that I'm not a Democrat, so maybe I don't get that privilege, but, like, could I leave and go do my own shit now? That one pisses me off.
Azerbaijan, the Congo and Rwanda, and, of course, the war in Gaza, which proceeds at a very low level. It's just about there. And I want to thank Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner for your help. Thank you, Steve. Thank you, Jared. And I also want to thank the man they report to, Secretary of State Marco Rubio. Thank you, Marco. People like you. You know, Marco got 100% of the votes when he was in confirmation. I think our next one was about 54%. And some of the Democrats are now saying, I can't believe we approved that guy. And he said it's an honor that they feel that way, right, Marco? You have done a great job, great Secretary of State. I think he'll go down as the best ever. Under the ceasefire I negotiated, every single hostage, both living and dead, has been returned home. Can you believe that? Nobody thought it was possible. Nobody thought that was possible. Both living and dead. And those parents who had a dead son, their boy. They'd always tell me their boy. They wanted him as much as though
Why
he were
does he
living.
always have
It
to
was,
say
amazing
that
period of
nobody
time.
thought it
He
was
came
possible
back,
shit?
and when we got all of the living hostages back, and many, many before them, but I always said those last 20 are going to be very tough, but we got many, many more, hundreds. But I said those last 20 are going to be tough. We got them back. But we only got back 14 or 15 of the dead of the 28. And believe it or not, Hamas worked along with Israel, and they dug, and they dug, and they dug. It's a tough thing to do, going through
So
bodies
that's
all
also
over,
not true.
passing up 100 bodies sometimes for each one that they found. Tough job. And they finally got it back to 27. And then Steve and Jared, they got it back to 28. They found all 28. Nobody thought that was possible, but we did it. And I remember the family
Nobody thought
of
it
the
was
28.
possible.
They were so grieved, but they were
Nobody
so happy,
thought it was
as happy
possible.
as it's possible.
But I'm so
possible
cool.
to be. They had their boy back.
I'm so
Mother said,
good.
"Sir, we have our boy back." What a period of time that was, but we got them all back. So thank you both very much. Great job.
What was that beep? Was that
And we're
from
working very
there?
hard to end the And we're working very hard to end the ninth war, the killing and slaughter between Russia and Ukraine, where 25,000 soldiers are dying each and every month. Think of that, 25,000 soldiers are dying a month. A war which would have never happened if I were president.
A war which never would have happened if I was
As president,
president.
I will make peace.
I would have
wherever
made
can,
sure
but
it
I will
never
hesitate
happened.
to
I'm so
confront
cool.
threats to
I'm so
America
good.
Wherever we must. That's why in a breakthrough
Oh,
operation
the
last year,
dingless PolitiFact?
the United States
Gotcha.
military obliterated Iran's nuclear weapons program with an attack on Iranian soil known as Operation Midnight Hammer. For decades, it had been the policy of the United States never to allow Iran to obtain a nuclear weapon. Many decades. Since they seized control of that proud nation 47 years ago, the regime and its murderous proxies have spread nothing but terrorism and death and hate. They've killed and maimed thousands of American service members and hundreds of thousands and even millions of people with what's called roadside bombs. They were the kings of the roadside bomb. And we took out Soleimani. I did that during my first term. Had a huge impact. He was the father of the roadside bomb. And just over the last couple of months with the protests, they've killed at least, it looks like 32,000 protesters, 32,000 protesters in their own country. They shot them and hung them. We stopped them from hanging a lot of them with the threat of serious violence, but this is some terrible people. They've already developed missiles that can threaten Europe and our bases overseas, and they're working to build missiles that will soon reach the United States of America. After Midnight Hammer, they were warned to make no future attempts to rebuild their weapons program, in particular nuclear weapons. Yet they continue, starting it all over. We wiped it out, and they want to start all over again, and are at this moment again pursuing their sinister ambitions. We are in negotiations with them. They want to make a deal, but we haven't heard those secret words. We will never have a nuclear weapon. My preference. My preference is to solve this problem through diplomacy. But one thing is certain, I will never allow the world's #1 sponsor of terror, which they are by far, to have a nuclear weapon. Can't let that happen. And no nation should ever doubt America's resolve. We have the most powerful military on earth. I rebuilt the military in my first term.
I rebuilt the
We're gonna continue
military.
to do so.
I did it because
Also,
I'm so
to
cool.
$1 trillion budget. We have no choice. We have
Fucking
to do so.
hell.
Because hopefully we will seldom have to use this great power that we built together. It's really called peace through strength, and it's been very, very effective. So thanks to Republicans in Congress, we're investing that record number of dollars, have no choice, in the United States Armed Forces. Also creating a lot of jobs, but we're not even doing it for that reason. Because as I said, we have more jobs, more people working today than ever before in the history of our country. And NATO countries are friends and allies. They are. They're our friends and they're our allies. I've just agreed, at my very strong request, to pay 5% of GDP for military defense rather than the 2%, which they weren't paying. We were paying for almost all of NATO. Now they're paying 5 as opposed to not paying 2. And getting that 5% was something which everyone said would never be done, could not happen.
It would never be done. 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 Nobody thought it would ever happen. Nobody thought it would ever happen. It would never be done. Fucking hell. I'm so tired of hearing that fucking activation phrase.
You send through NATO and they pay us in full. They pay us totally in full.
It would never be done. Never be done. Never be done. Never be done. Nobody would ever think it could be done. Nobody would ever think it could be done.
And every service member recently.
Jesus Christ. Choke on a Tic Tac.
And every service member recently received a warrior dividend of $1,776.
Every service member just got $1,776.
You know, they put it on my desk. We got the money from tariffs and other things. A lot of money we have. We have much more money than people understand. Have to rebuild that program a little bit, but it won't take long. But we got the money, and it was $1,775, and they wanted my approval. And I said, what's the number? $1,775. I said, wait a minute. For $1 more, we can have $1,776. It's going to. I said, we're going to figure that. I never asked anybody if we could afford it. $1 more. I said $1,776. And I said, that's good. And I'll tell you what, our military, that was 4 months ago, our military, I never see a person in the military that doesn't thank me for it, so we're honored to do it. They deserve it. And we call it 1776. It was great. And we love our military. We love our law enforcement. We love
you
our
know,
firemen.
you probably don't see military personnel that go against you because you're their boss. I don't see a single worker who doesn't thank me for their paycheck.
We're also restoring American security and dominance in the Western Hemisphere, acting to secure our national interests and defend our country from violence, drugs, terrorism, and foreign interference. For years, large swaths of territory in our region, including large parts of Mexico, really large parts of Mexico, have been controlled by
Why does he
drug
pause
cartels.
when he says Mexico?
That's why I designated these cartels as foreign terrorist organizations, and I declared illicit fentanyl as a weapon of mass destruction.
What? He's declared fentanyl? As a WND, George Bush would be so proud.
We have stopped record amounts of drugs coming into our country and virtually stopped it completely coming in by water or sea. You probably noticed that. We very seriously damaged their fishing industry also. Nobody wants to go fishing anymore. We've also taken down one of the most sinister cartel kingpins of all. You saw that yesterday. In January. In January, elite American warriors carried out one of the most complex, spectacular feats of military competence and power in world history. No one's seen anything like it. Foreign leaders, I won't tell you who, called me, and they said, very impressive, very impressive.
Very impressive.
They all watched. They saw what happened. This is a different fighting force that we had years ago when we fought to tie. You know, it's a great fighting force. I'm so proud of it. Look at Space Force. Space Force is my baby. As we did that, my baby is becoming so important. And America's armed forces overwhelmed all defenses and utterly defeated an enemy, good fighters, to end the reign of outlaw dictator Nicolas Maduro and bring him to face American justice.
All right, I need to see.
And this was an absolutely colossal victory for the security of the United States.
Okay, let's see here. What have been the recent fact checks on here? All Israeli hostages were returned. Trump, see here. As of late January, all of them taken from Israel have been accounted for, with the final remains recovered from Gaza. So that one was actually true. State policies vary on whether parents are notified if children are trans at school. Yep. Truss misleads his repeated claim that he's ended 8 wars.
And it also opens up a great new beginning for the people of Venezuela. We're working closely with the new president of Venezuela, Delcy Rodriguez, to unleash extraordinary economic gains for both of our countries and to bring new hope to those who have suffered so terribly. They really did suffer. With us tonight is Alejandro Gonzalez. He grew up in a tight-knit Venezuelan family and was especially close to her beloved uncle Enrique. But after Enrique ran for office and opposed Maduro, he was kidnapped by Maduro's security forces and thrown into the regime's really infamous prison in Caracas. Alejandro feared she would never see her uncle again. She feared for her own life also. But since the raid, we have worked with the new leadership, and they have ordered the closure of that vile prison and released hundreds of political prisoners already, with more to come. Alejandro, I'm pleased to inform you that not only has your uncle been released, but he is here tonight. We brought him over to celebrate his freedom with you in person. Enrique, please come down.
That's at least heartwarming. I don't know all the details on that one, but that is at least heartwarming. And there's the fact checker.
Thank you, Enrique. Have a good time. Nice to have you back, Enrique. There were many heroes on that January raid to capture Maduro. Really great heroes. It was very dangerous. They knew
They
we
were so
coming.
great.
They were all set. But the deeds of one warrior that night will live forever in the eternal chronicles of military valor. Chief Warrant Officer 5, Eric Slover, planned the mission and was the flight lead in the cockpit of the first helicopter. A big, beautiful, powerful helicopter. It was a massive Chinook, carrying, as you can imagine, many, many American warfighters. Wearing the dog tags, his wife Amy had blessed with holy water before he left. She knew it was going to be a rough one. Eric steered the Chinook under the cover of night and descended swiftly upon Maduro's heavily protected military fortress. This was a major military installation, protected by thousands of soldiers and guarded by Russian and Chinese military technology. How did that work out? Not too good. While preparing to land, enemy machine guns fired from every angle, and Eric was hit very badly in the leg and hip, one bullet after another. He absorbed 4 agonizing shots, shredding his leg into numerous pieces. And yet, despite the fact that the use of his legs was vital to successful helicopter flight, legs are the most important part of flying a helicopter, to deliver the many commandos who would capture and detain Maduro was the only thing Eric was thinking about. Then, even as he was gushing blood, which was flowing back down the aisle, helicopter lands at a steep angle. The machine gun stood right in front of him. They were right in front of him, 2 machine gunners who escaped the wrath of the previous planes. Eric maneuvered his helicopter with all of those lives and souls to face the enemy and let his gunners eliminate the threat. Turned the helicopter around so the gunners could take care of business, saving the lives of his fellow warriors from what could have been a catastrophic crash deep in enemy territory. Only after safely landing the helicopter with all the warriors aboard in the exact right spot, which was vital to the mission, we probably would have had to maybe cancel the mission if that didn't happen. Eric told his co-pilot, also wounded, but not as gravely, to take over. I'm about ready to pass out. The success of the entire mission and the lives of his fellow warriors hinge on Eric's ability to take searing pain. It was unbelievable what's happened to his legs of the bullets and keep on flying and landing. And people knew what was happening. Everybody in the back of the helicopter knew because they saw the blood pouring down the aisle. Chief Warrant Officer Slover is still recovering from his serious wounds, but I'm thrilled to say that he is here tonight with his wife Amy, Eric, and Amy, come on in.
So if there was one place void of terrible people, not only would it already be affected by them anyway, it is often visited by them. USA, USA, USA,
So we have a surprise,
USA.
Eric and Amy. In recognition of Eric's actions above and beyond the call of duty, I would now like to ask General Jonathan Braga to present Chief Warrant Officer Slover with our nation's highest military award, the Congressional Medal of Honor.
Can you see if his right hand has makeup? I can't see behind slide. I don't. I don't know. Between the coat hanger abortion of our naval modernization program, the shelving of the Booker and this man's slander of our beloved Fat Amy, I'll never forgive Captain Bone Spurs.
Well, thank you very much, Eric and Amy. Great to get to know you. I met with them and with a lot of their fellow warriors at Fort Bragg recently. You notice the name Fort Bragg. We have it back. We brought it back. We won the First World War with it, the Second World War with it, and then they decided to change the name. So we changed it back. Everybody wanted to change back, too. And 10 of Eric's fellow warriors from that incredible night of victory will also be receiving medals at a private ceremony that will soon be held at the White House. And Eric will be there.
I'm so tired. If there's anything else in the State of the Union address that I need to cover, let me know tomorrow. I can't anymore with this. I really can't. It's an hour and 31 or 32 minutes, and I've been listening to a decent bit of this on not quite double speed, but change the name over for it. I can't. Guys, we'll take one more look at political fact check. Let's go ahead and see if there's anything else new. Let's see what else is in there right now. Trump says the grid can't handle AI energy data centers. It's difficult to connect artificial intelligence data centers to the power grid at a pace that meets demand. The wait can take up to 7 years to get around that bottleneck. Trump has allowed and encouraged AI companies to generate their own power. Our group estimates data centers could use up to 12% of the United States electricity by 2028. Jesus fucking Christ. Let's see here. Is there anything else there? Aha! Trump says that his administration has virtually stopped drugs coming in by water and sea. There's no evidence that drugs coming in by sea have been virtually stopped. Of course. Of fucking course. All right. We're done listening to President Bonespurs. We're concluded. We're done. I can't anymore. I can't anymore. Like, subscribe, all that fun shit. I gotta go horizontal. Hey, you made it to the end. I want to give an extra thanks to the patrons who allow me to do this full time. I want to thank Aaron Rail, Astral, Britzkrieg, Jemshin, Poundini, Red Joker, Victoria, Jonas, Craig, Tarika, Fireshard, Smiling GM, John, Dren Hadamada, Creeper, Sagitt, you know I'm not saying that last part, Valis of Seraph, Ottoman Angel, Rooster Rachel, and Fire Panda, who are all my $20 and up patrons.